Hi everyone, it's Øyvind Martinsen here and welcome to this Adobe Lightroom editing session. I'm going to go through the develop module here and going to work on a landscape photograph from Dovre in Norway, and let's go to work. So this is the picture as I took it. This is the raw file, and as we can see, a raw file when you upload it on your computer into Adobe Lightroom. The colors are very dull, it lacks contrast and colors and tones, so we need to develop it. So this is like the negative was in the old days, where we had the negative and we had to do the work, for example, in the darkroom. So let's go to work. So I'm going to start with the color temperature. I'm going to warm it up a little bit. Drag the color temperature to the right. Get a little bit better tones. And I'm going to lift the exposure a little bit up. Not much. 0.10. I want to increase the contrast. I'll drag it up to around 20, 25, 24. And as you can see here, there are some shadow areas here. So I can lift the shadows by dragging the shadow slider to the right. See here? And I can increase the clarity, and the clarity sharpens the medium tones in image or softens the medium tones. If I drag to the left, it softens. If I drag to the right, it sharpens. And I like a little bit more crispy image, so I drag it up to around 25. There, 25. And now we're going to go to the vibrance tool, and it will increase the colors, boost up the colors. Let me see here, go up to 45. Now we have already a much better image. And I also want to add some saturation, not too much like this, not too little, but just a little bit more. So when I edit my landscape photographs, I'm thinking of the old Fujichrome Velvia slide films we used in the days of film, and I think we are getting closer to that now in this image. So let's continue downwards. Here I can work on the HSL section, where I can adjust the hue, saturation and luminance within each color. The hue, here I can adjust the color tones within each color, and in the saturation I can adjust the saturation within each color, and in the luminance I can adjust the luminance within each color. Let's see, for example, here on the orange, if I want to lift the orange or darken the orange. So in this case we can lift it a little bit up, not much, just to get a better contrast in the colors. +4, that's enough. I go to the saturation and I drag a little bit up on the orange here, and in the back here we have the purple and some magenta and red. I'm gonna lift it a little bit up, a little bit up on the magenta and a little bit up on the red. Never overdo it like this, then it will be a fake image. So far so good, and we're going to continue downwards. We have to sharpen image. Remember, when you're working in the raw format, the raw file needs sharpening, so we have to do it here in the editing software. So I drag the sharpening amount up to 58, the radius to 1.1, and I'm going to use the masking tool because there are areas in this picture that doesn't need no sharpening, so it does not need sharpening here in this area here, the upper part. So I press the option button down on the keyboard and I drag the slider up, and now you see the dark areas on top of the image, and the dark areas will not be sharpened because you don't need sharpening here on the blank surfaces like the sky, water, or other blank surfaces. Then get a better image quality. And we're going to enable the profile corrections down here. Remove the chromatic aberration. We check these two boxes. Chromatic aberration is color lines that can appear between the horizon here and the sky. And I also want to adjust the vignette back here, so have a little bit darker edges of the frame. I can also do some more vignetting by adjusting the slider here under effects. I drag the slider to the left. See here, this is too much. I think here. A little bit darker at the edges. Maybe there, I think it's good. Because if the edges of the frame is a little bit darker than within, then the viewer's eye will stay inside the frame more than if it was light areas at the edges of the frame. So we have to seduce the viewer to stay inside our frame and enjoy the picture. Okay, so far so good. I want to fine-tune the upper part of the image here. So then I'm going to use the built-in graduated neutral density filter here in Adobe Lightroom. It's under this box. Tick this one, and I press the shift button on the keyboard and I drag downwards like this, and I want it a little bit lower, so I grab the ring and drag it down. You see, now I want to lift the exposure a little bit up. So this is the area I'm working in now. Now I adjust the exposure, you can see what I can do. But I want to lift the exposure a little bit up, so I have a better balance between the foreground and the background and the sky. So there we go, 0.23. And I also want to lift the shadows a little bit more because we have some darker shadow areas here. So balance it more with the foreground. So I have the shadow slider here and lift shadows. I'm going to take it a little bit more down and get more effect of these adjustments. And I can also tilt a little bit there. And if I want to add some more saturation here at the top, I can drag the slider here. This is too much, too little. Maybe give it a little bit extra. Then we close it. So now we have a better image. And it's now a better balance between the foreground and the sky. And we have very strong colors. And let's see the image in full frame. I press the F button on the keyboard, then we can see it in full frame. Nice strong colors. And when I composed the image, I wanted to have some space between the colored area here and the edges of the frame. So then I get contrast in color and in tones, and I have these nice lines here in the composition, and we have the nice alpenglow here on the mountains, the colors on the sky. So I think it was a successful morning at Dovrefjell in Norway, and I hope you learned a little bit by watching this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share and like, and I see you in another video. Thank you.